Good to be with you.
Do you think the committee is actually going to hear from this convict in person, face to face?
Well, I'm hopeful that we will. We're working actively on that, and
it keeps getting delayed, though.
Well, there's a reason that we issued a subpoena, and what we did was unprecedented, I believe, anywhere in American history, and so we did so because we have serious questions about this case, about the system, about his guilt or innocence, about Jason, whether a crime even occurred. And so I believe it is important for the committee to meet with him. It didn't happen at the Capitol this past week, but
will it happen next week?
We're still hopeful that it will. If we have to go to him in Livingston there at the Polunsky unit, then that's what we'll do. We're working around the clock on that.
For a field hearing, I mean, would it actually, I mean, could that happen logistically inside death row there at the Polunsky unit in East Texas?
Look, anything can happen logistically. Where there's a will, there's a way. We're working collaboratively and have been for many days now with House administration, with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, with DPS, with local law enforcement there to make this safe for everybody involved, most importantly him. And so yes, it can happen. I believe that it should happen. I'm hopeful that it will happen, but we'll see.
Governor Abbott says this committee, the Criminal Jurisprudence Committee, overstepped its bounds. What do you think about that?
With all due respect to Governor Abbott, I disagree with that. Actually, the gentleman who wrote that letter to the Supreme Court telling us to stay in our lane. Yeah. His name's James Sullivan. He's a dear friend of mine. He's one of the best lawyers in America, one of the smartest men I've ever met. Went to Rice undergrad, Harvard Law. He serves the governor faithfully and well, and we work together on a lot of issues. I believe he's wrong on this. The legislature has a role here. When we're talking about the death penalty and just the heaviness of this decision, the executive has a very important role. The judicial certainly has a very important role. Well, so does the legislative branch. And we have seen a problem. We've seen a potentially innocent Texan within Jason 20 steps and 20 minutes of being put to death by the state, receiving a lethal injection of pentobarbital. Something all of us, every branch of government, has to own when we do that. To say to the legislature that you just have to stay in your lane and you have to sit down and you have to shut up is not something I'm comfortable with. The committee wasn't comfortable with, and I believe the vast majority of state representatives are not comfortable with either.
The Supreme Court only delayed this, but for how long? If you guys can't take testimony, this can't go on forever.
So the clock has certainly been reset. Now again, we're working actively to secure Mr. Roberson's testimony and to figure out a way forward, but there's not an execution date set anymore. That resides in the Anderson County with the district attorney there. She can do that in 90 days. My hope is that the Board of Pardons and Paroles, they can step up, the Court of Criminal Appeals can step up, the governor can issue a 30-day reprieve, and this is so important. I want to reiterate this again and again and again. I do not want, nor have I heard anyone say that Mr. Roberson should be released today and be walking the streets of Texas tomorrow. All we want is to push the pause button and to secure a new trial for him. We believe he's owed that. We believe justice demands that, and that's why the legislature has been so forceful to step up and push for that. If that happens, I'm confident that a just result will be arrived at.
Representative, thank you for the time.
Thanks, Jay.